everybody? It's DJ Lily Jade. And just before we start the show, I just want to give a quick recap of the best weekend ever I had in downtown Cleveland for the women's Final Four. I want to give a shout out to South Carolina, the winners, Coach Don Staley, Iowa, Caitlin Clark, Coach Bluter, all of those people downtown. And I even got to, we had a busy weekend. On Thursday, what happened on Thursday? Well, I forgot what happened on Thursday. On Friday, I went to the All-Stars game at Cleveland State and got to interview Nancy Lieberman and Cheryl Miller. Saturday was the actual game Saturday was the All-Star game, and Sunday was the big final game to choose it all. Plus, it was hard to see those seniors playing. For the seniors that won, congratulations to them, and they're winning the women's Final Four, but I feel bad for the seniors that lost in Iowa.
You know how I think of it, Lily, though? Nobody really lost. What a game. What a game. And it just elevated women's basketball.
All right. But anyways.
Well, what happened the day after?
The day after, I just went home and relaxed and watched the eclipse.
That's the best.
Well, I just did my recap. I want to introduce my special guest today. I want to introduce my guest. He is a special man. I want to introduce to my show Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne.
You got it. Nobody ever pronounces my name right, but you did. Lily, it is Chris Ronayne, your county executive. And by the way, I work for you.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, you're one of my constituents, we call you. 1.2 million citizens in Cuyahoga County. You're one of them, and I work for you. But I'm glad you brought up that eclipse, too. What a week.
Definitely.
Once in a lifetime, right?
Once in a lifetime. Once you watch it, that might either you can watch the next partial, which will be in 7 years, because the last one we had was 2017. Maybe the next one we will probably get in 7 years again.
Yeah.
Or you stay alive so long where you watch the next full totality.
I think that's 2099.
2099.
Wow. But we saw it. We saw it here. It was perfect. The sun was out. It was raining in the morning, but then the sun was out. I met people from everywhere. New York State, Oregon, West Virginia, all come here, Florida, to watch the eclipse.
They want to see the eclipse.
Yeah.
It's not often that those happen.
Absolutely not. And we saw it here in CLE. Perfect day. And then, you know what, our baseball team won.
Oh, dang, I did not realize that. Well, that was a good luck charm for them. That was a good luck charm.
It was a triple win, right?
Yeah.
NCAA, Women's NCAA, the Eclipse, and a Guardians home opener win.
Yep.
What could be better?
Nothing. So where are you from?
Oh, well, I was originally born in Chicago, and I lived in Chicago till I was 10 years old, but we moved to Cleveland with my family when I was 10, so Cleveland's been home ever since.
So, I love Chicago. Did you love the pizza there? That's my question, because that was my favorite thing to get from every time we go to Chicago for Chicago State. That is my favorite thing to get. They'll be like, "What do you want for dinner?" Pizza.
Yes. Do you know you can eat one piece of Chicago deep dish and you feel like you've eaten a whole meal?
Yeah, like it's the way that they put it in how big and thick the slice is.
Yeah.
You make you think, oh, wait, I just ate a whole pizza. No, I just ate a whole slice.
Exactly. And then New York, just by comparison, is just thin, right?
Yeah.
But in Cleveland, it's about corned beef and pierogies, I think.
Not just corned beef and pierogies and Polish boys.
Polish boys. I love it. That's good, too. So we came to Cleveland when I was 10. This is home now. I love Cleveland. You know, when our baseball team played the Cubs in the World Series, everybody said, well, you can't lose because you're from both places.
You can't lose.
But I was like, I'm a Clevelander now. So tried and true. We live in the city of Cleveland. I showed you the pictures of my kids. They're 14 and 15, and we live here in the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, definitely. When my teacher, my art connection teacher, She is from Detroit.
Nice.
No, wait, not Detroit. Pittsburgh, I meant.
Oh,
Pittsburgh.
both great cities.
Yeah, I meant Pittsburgh. So when that game where the Browns were playing the Steelers, she's like, I can win or lose any other way. But she was rooting for the Steelers more because when it's just the Browns playing, she roots for them. But when it's the Steelers playing, they root for them. But she just rooted for the Steelers because that's where she's from. That's her root.
Well, I get it. It's a hometown root. And the last 20 years, Pittsburgh's been kind of a team. Cleveland, we're still working on it, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, we're going to get there, probably.
I think you and I are both optimists.
Yeah. Share a bit about your background and college experiment.
Well, thank you. So when I was in college, I studied business, which was good for the job I'm in now. But I got a really, really interesting break during college. I studied overseas. And when I studied overseas in a country, a very tiny country, smaller geographically than the state of Ohio, in Luxembourg, I studied international business.
I have no idea where you're talking
Luxembourg is about 4 hours from Paris, and it's kind of in the middle of Europe. Yes, yes. So where I was going to go with that is I started going to all these cities as students. I used to take the train, and I go to like Berlin, I go to Paris, I go to Spain, and I'd end up looking. Yeah, I've been to 40 countries now.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And I got about 20 of them under my belt when I was 20 going to school. But the thing is, it interested me in cities. And so I came home and I'm like, I want to work in city work. So I became a city planner, which means you basically plan out how cities work.
That goes in the city.
You got it. It's a great job. So I did that. I became a county planner here at the county. And then I worked in University Circle for 15 years, where WOVU knows us well. And then shout out to WOVU. Love Jay and the team and all your colleagues over there, DJ Lilly. And then finally, I said, well, if you like planning cities so much, why don't you work with 59 other communities to help them plan their future? So I was talking to your mayor from South Euclid this morning about that very thing. Mayor Wheelo. Yep. And so now I work with all the mayors as your elected county executive. But my background started in school when I took note of cities and never looked back. And I fell in love with cities. And now I work with 59 in Cuyahoga County.
Yeah, quick connection, real quick. When my mom, when she used to work in the city, she used to plan the events that would happen in downtown. Yeah. So I forgot what year it was, but she's planned All-Star Weekend before.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm sure if she was still down there, she would definitely plan the Final Four.
She probably would have. Well, hats off to your mom, because what Cleveland does, we do events well. My wife maybe she worked with your mom back when my wife worked for the Parks Department. Oh, I'm getting a head bob. She did. And they always did a great job with putting together events. I remember we worked on the children's games, which was like the children's Olympics. We saw the All-Star baseball, All-Star basketball. Then we saw the women's Final Four this week. And Cleveland always does a great job of bringing together public events.
Well, we'll be right back after this break because, we got to pay some bills. Welcome back to the Lily Jade Show on 95.9 FM WOVU. And if you're just now joining us, I'm here with County Executive Chris Ronayne.
Hello again.
Hello again. So what is the role of a county executive?
That's a great question. We do a lot of things up in this office, which you're on the 8th floor of the county building, overlooking, like we said, the ballpark and some of the buildings downtown. But I can see, I know I can, at least till they run around first base, and then I lose them in the other building. But you know what? Cuyahoga County is one of those governments that not everybody knows a lot about. Okay, so you know your city, right? You know your state. But your county is actually organized around 59 communities. We're one of 88 in the state of Ohio. And there's only 2 organized units of government that are county executive, us and Summit County, Akron. And I really enjoy the job. It's a big budget, $1.5 billion with a B dollars. We manage your,
you just said billion.
Yes, and we manage your tax revenues and your parents. So we manage when property tax comes in, how it flows back out, how sales tax, say you buy an ice cream cone or you buy a car, there's some sales tax that comes to the county, and it goes to good purpose. Here's how we usually use the funds. We use it for health and human services. On the health and human services, that might mean everything. That might be taking care of grandparents who need to stay in their homes, helping them with transportation. It might be helping children who need a leg up in something in their life. It might be just helping people maintain their homes. So that's the health and human service side. But also, we have something called Justice Affairs. We try to help our communities keep our communities safe. So I have a police department, a sheriff's department, and it's a sheriff's department of a lot. It's like 1,000 people in the department. We also do all your roads and bridges that are county roads and bridges. So when you drive with mom and dad over a bridge, hope you don't fall in right in the river. That's because we maintain it. And so that's all a big part of the county government. And then lastly, we do some specialty things, like we work on job development or getting houses wired on digital Wi-Fi and things like that. So it's kind of neat. In the end, my job is to help you with your quality of life in your community so that Lily and her sister can stay here, come back here, enjoy your whole life in Cuyahoga County.
Well, real quick, I want to make a connection. You just said that with that budget, you get to work on bridges and roads. There's being some construction going on, Shaker somewhere over where I live, and I'm just excited to see what's going to happen because I think it's either a bridge or it's part of the road.
Yes, well, I'm glad you're excited because a lot of times people say, when is this going to be over? And we get the calls like, how much more of this we're going to have to endure? But the reality, end of the day, is so we can keep up our infrastructure. These roads in Cuyahoga County, some of them are over 50 years old, right? And so
true.
we kind of got to keep up with our program. Yeah.
You got to keep fixing them every once in a
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to keep fixing them every once in a while or else they'll just start crumbling.
That's right. So a lot of this is just general maintenance. And, in Cuyahoga County, we're a county that's 200 years old. 200 years old. We were founded in 1810. So in 1810, for all those years, it's 215 years old. So there's a lot of bridges and roads and sewers to keep going. Yeah.
Correct me when you said 215 years old?
It's actually 214.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
214.
You are a math whiz. What doesn't she do, Lily? You're amazing. Hey, I remember meeting you at the Forbes under 30 group, and you were out in the crowd, and I said, where is DJ Lily? And you said, I'm here. You were the youngest in the crowd. How'd you get into what you do?
So radio host or DJing?
Both.
Okay. Well, the story is the connection. So it's 2020. A lot of my fans might know this story already, but it's 2020, and and my dad's in the basement doing DJ mixes, and meanwhile, I'm 5 at the time, so I do regret my actions. And so one day I go up to my dad and I'm like, your music is trash. While he's DJing in the basement, jamming out to his music. And again, I regret my actions because I am a DJ now and I have to listen to every genre of music, which I love every genre. So he's like, can you do better? And I'm like, of course, I'm better at everything else that we do. And so after that, he brought me down to the basement, taught me how to use all the equipment. I'm like, get out of here, get out of here. Get out of
You
here,
took
I got
over.
it. Yeah, get out of here, I got it. And so we are doing battles in the basement, recording us. So the news calls him up like, hey, can we come out and you guys do a battle in the backyard on live TV? And we're like, sure. So we do that, and WOVU, they see Jay. He sees me on the news, and he's like, does this girl want a show on our radio?
And the rest is history. I know Jay, he's a good recruit talent. He recruited some pretty good talent with you. Well, keep it going.
Thank you. And so I'm a 4th grader, and me and my classmates have no idea what you do. So what do you do exactly?
Well, I told you about our budget, and I told you how we spend that budget. But a lot of my job is actually working with area organizations that help us as a team get things done. And what I mean by that, there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that have specific mission and purpose for who they want to help, right? So it might be group that's serving seniors. Yesterday, as an example, I met with daycare providers in Cuyahoga County. We're all working to kind of create more affordable daycare so that moms and dads can get out to work, and that when they do spend money on daycare, it doesn't soak up their entire paycheck. That's just one example. I was with a group called the Workforce Investment Board yesterday. They work on training for everything from social services to construction to healthcare, and we try to help them support people getting new job career tracks. You know what? Your sister's over reading some of the books I got from an organization called the Literary Cooperative. That's a nonprofit that helps distribute books to kids to help them get an early head start in their learning in life. We also have something called Universal Pre-K, where we're trying to get preschool available to everybody in Cuyahoga County that's age eligible, say 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years old. So that's kind of like a sample of the kind of nonprofits I work with to help get good things done. Now, my whole framework for working is a healthy Cuyahoga. Can our citizens be healthy? Can our communities be healthy? Do they have access to fresh food and walkable communities? Do they feel safe in their community? Do they have a good job in their community? Is our justice system appropriate? And is our government serving people? All of those add up to me to be a healthy Cuyahoga. Not to mention we try to create a healthy climate.
Okay. I'm going to just say something. I'm going to say this real quick. I have a petition going on right now because in South Euclid, we don't have a rec center.
Oh, yeah.
We do not have a rec center. No major rec centers. We just don't have one at all. So I'm doing a petition right now for a rec center in South Euclid.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm sorry.
You learn something new every day about her.
Breaking news. Keep going.
Yeah.
No, but I do have an actual petition. I bring it to school, and I have people at my school sign it. Yeah, my teacher's helping me. Okay. What? I'm not going rogue. I'm just saying I made
This
an
is
actual
great.
petition.
You're singing my song. You are.
Yeah. Because I realized that about how we have the library, but sometimes we want to give the librarians a few days off.
Yeah.
And we also have, where Garfield Memorial Church is.
Yep.
They do a program on Wednesdays.
For after school.
Yeah. But I'm like,
Yeah.
we should probably find a way to get a rec center.
I love it. Like I said, you're probably singing your mayor's song, and I have a friend, Sarah Continenta, out there who's a councilwoman who's trying to get more community green space, more community gardens. But a rec center goes exactly to what we're talking about. A healthy South Euclid is a healthy Cuyahoga County. Having a rec center where people can go and get their fitness and get it for affordable rates, that's what it's all about. So can I high five you for that petition? I love it. We need more of that. We need more citizens helping us find ways to get things like community rec centers. And you know what? If you get that rec center, you might want to stay in South Euclid as an adult, right? Because you've made your community an even better place.
Well, we'll be right back after this break because we got to pay some bills. Welcome back to the Lily Jade Show on 95.9 FM WOVU. And if you're just now joining us, I'm here with County Executive Chris Ronayne. Sorry.
You said it perfectly.
Sorry. So, what's a day in a life as a county executive?
My gosh, that's a great question, Lily. So, day in the life, first of all, no 2 days are ever the same. We are, honestly, every single day is a different day. Not like Groundhog Day. I don't know what I'm going to get when I go to work in the day because the days always change. But let me say this. I work with a number of great people. We usually start off with some community morning meeting. We go out and see what people are doing out there. People who are helping people get housing or jobs, or people who are helping keep our environment clean or working on fresh water. That might be a meeting I have with any one of those nonprofits. Then I often meet with a mayor of some community. Might be South Euclid, might be Parma, might be Westlake, might be Warrensville Heights, and I meet with them about an initiative that they're interested in. Then I do a little work here at the desk. I usually go over and watch how our boards and commissions are doing. You know, we have 4,200 employees, and I have 70 boards I appoint citizens to, from like the RTA to the Port Authority to the a number of other boards. So I keep up with those boards and how they're doing out there in the community. And you know, sometimes I leave a little time for the random, like what could happen that we just need to address internally, because that happens a lot. Then I usually try to get home and see my kids for dinner, but then I go back out because often we're in the community with our citizens doing sort of community resource shops. Right now, there's two examples. We're trying to help people keep their estates, meaning their houses and the cars and things, together and keep it out of what's called probate court. So we have something called Great Estates, a Great Estates program. I usually go out with our fiscal team and we learn about that. Now, we are also seeing a reappraisal of property values coming up. So with that, we go out and we tell people what to expect with their property tax duplicate, if you will. Sometimes I travel out of the county. Sometimes I go to Columbus, to Franklin County, to learn what they're doing. Sometimes I go meet legislators and I ask them for money. We're building a child wellness center right now, and we're trying to raise money through the state to help us with that. We've been very helped along with that. Sometimes I go to Washington, D.C. I see people like Congresswoman Shontel Brown, and I enjoy catching up in D.C. because we have a good partnership there. So if we need some support for certain projects, like one that I'm working on right now is called the Freshwater Institute. It's to help with kids like you be the future ambassadors of our fresh water. That's why I wear it on my sleeve, my Great Lakes pen there, because we're trying to keep our waters clean. So we're going to start an education program about that. But Shontel Brown, that's right. Shontel Brown helped me out. And then a lot of the times I meet with Mayor Bibb, probably twice a week on some issue we get together on.
And then also,
how's that for a day in the life of?
That's a busy day in the life, I'm going to say that. But one thing, definitely, there's also life in the lake and all that stuff. And you don't want to throw any, like, because there are, like, animals down there that will be like, oh, what is this? And they'll be trying to explore. And then
I'm so glad you said that. You know this, Lily, but way back when our river burned, and we had a mayor named Carl Stokes who said no more. Mayor Stokes stood up and he said, he was actually the first African-American mayor of a major American city. He said no more. He said we're going to go to Washington and we're going to fight to keep this river clean. So his brother Lou Stokes was a congressman, first African-American congressman in the state of Ohio. Two of them worked together to create the Clean Water Act and the U.S. EPA. Today, the Cuyahoga River that was spoiled and was on fire is now clean, and we're seeing the reintroduction of fish. In fact, next week we're going to introduce what's called steelhead for fishing in the Cuyahoga River. That's how clean the river has gotten, but that became the effort and the clarion call after the fire on the river. So, what matters is what's in the water.
Yeah, and then also, another thing about the water, y'all use it in your everyday life.
Absolutely.
Brush your teeth, shower, use the bathroom.
You got it.
All of that stuff. Wash your hands, get a drink of water.
Yep. And we are lucky to have clean drinking water. You know, my family was just on a vacation in a beautiful place in Jamaica. But what we encountered in a beautiful place, beautiful people, was unfortunately they had to ration water and water quality was compromised. So we're lucky in this country to have fresh water. I think we got to really recognize that as our responsibility to protect it.
How do you work with all the mayors?
You know, a lot of times it's kind of understanding what they need. Sometimes they need a ball field for kids. If girls softball can't happen, they need a softball field, we work with them on that. You mentioned your rec center. We're interested now in what happens in South Euclid. We work with them on roads and bridges in their community. Sometimes we work with them on trying to lure a new business to town. Sometimes we go visit a new business in town to say hello. Sometimes I go to a school and I read to kids in the communities. But mostly with mayors, it's trying to work with them on what they need, whether it's roads and bridges, whether it's new jobs, whether it's safety, support, or other things.
Are there any hidden gems in the county you recommend I visit?
Yes, thank you for asking. I have a long list. I'll try to keep it to 100. Just kidding. So one, a lot of people don't know that we have a national park in Cuyahoga County.
That's true.
The Cuyahoga Valley National Park, right down on Rockside Road. Just go down there, park, walk the trail, right there.
That's where I did cheerleading.
There you go. So you've been there.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
there a lot of times. When they put us on break, I'm like, can we go over to the park over there?
Yes.
Because you know where that platform is?
Yes.
That's where we would practice, and then we're like, can we go to that park over there for
Wow.
for the break time?
Well, that's fan. And then you probably know about a lot of these other things. There's something called the Lakefront Nature Preserve, right off of Rockefeller Park, MLK Boulevard, just to the north. You can walk 88 acres into the lake and look at a beautiful skyline view of downtown Cleveland, just off of MLK Boulevard. Oh, while you're there, the cultural gardens. It tells everything about who we are as a people. You want to know more about who we are as a people? Go to the West Side Market. Look at the food, all the different food vendors on West 25th. I can go on, but you should get over to University Circle and see the soon-to-be opened Natural History Museum with all kinds of new exhibits there.
Well, thank you. I'm going to visit those places.
All right.
Yeah. So, I read you were a hockey fan?
Yes, you saw my kids. I coached them.
Yeah. Do you still coach?
Just last year, I hung it up, but I did it for 10 years straight with my kids. And you know what? Then they got too good for me. They had to get some new coaching. But we won a championship with my daughter's team, and we won a championship with my son's team. So I feel pretty satisfied.
You've been to 2
Yeah.
championships, and
Yep.
then you won.
And I want to tell you, girls are getting into more sports, including hockey.
Definitely. There's hopefully in not too long, girls might be able to start playing football.
That's right. We are seeing girls enter every sport. Wrestling, basketball, obviously. Soccer is growing. And of course, like I said, hockey. And now you say football.
Hopefully, let's speak it into existence.
Yeah.
But when did you start playing?
I was 10. I was just about your age. I was 10 years old. Started in Chicago.
Started in Chicago, of
Yep.
course. You had to start as soon as you left.
Well, and the good thing about sports is most sports you can play all your life.
Yeah.
Like hockey, believe it or not, you can. Now, football's a little harder to play late in life if you're a tackle football, but most sports you can play all your life.
Yeah, if you tackle football, that won't work out so well because the older that you get,
Yeah.
it gives it more of a struggle.
A little difficult on your knees.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite sport?
I'm gonna have to say volleyball.
Volleyball. That's awesome. I like sand volleyball.
I don't like sand volleyball though. 'Cause
You're a
the
court volleyballer?
court volleyball because the sand gets everywhere. I'm gonna say that the sand gets everywhere.
This is true. I can't deny it.
The sand gets everywhere, so I like court volleyball.
Yeah.
Mhm. So, music pop quiz. I'm a DJ. This is the best part for me.
DJ Lily in the house.
So ready.
You're the first DJ to be in my office.
Oh wow. Great.
Raising it up.
All right. So, what's the first concert you attended?
The Cars. They were called the Cars. And I saw them down at Blossom. I was 16 years old, and it was pretty cool because 2 of them were from the Cleveland area. One played in Parma, one played in Lakewood, but they were a 4-man band called the Cars, and I had a good time.
What was your most recent concert?
Most recently, I saw with my daughter, Billy Joel, in Madison Square Garden in New York City. We went out there because he did 100 shows at Madison Square Garden. Yeah. And, Cleveland's a great venue. Years ago, I had kind of a big brother relationship with one of my, I call him my little brother, but he taught me a lot too. But we saw Bones, Thugs, and Harmony over at the Agora because they were right on St. Clair back when. So good local content, but you can go out of town and see some good shows. I'm going to see the Rolling Stones with my wife in June. And then again, I saw the Cars, my first show.
But real quick, make a connection about Bone Thugs and Harmony. So did you hear about them getting their street named, right?
Yeah, right over off of St. Clair.
My dad helped get
No way, Dad. Give it up, give it up, give it up. That's awesome.
He helped get that street name.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? We got a connection then because we started that street naming for the favorite daughters and sons of Cleveland when I was at City Hall. So I'm really glad to know that. And, you know, they deserve it, right? They changed the game.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Who have you seen the most in concert?
That's a good question. Well, by the way, I was speaking about Jamaica a minute ago. I was very blessed to run something called Wait Over Wednesdays. And remember those?
I've been to a gig over in the Wait.
They are fantastic. So we started those about 20, maybe 15, 17 years ago. And we started doing a nighttime series, and it just kept growing and growing and growing. So the performers I've seen the most, why I brought up Jamaica, Carlos Jones and the Plus Band, he's always a crowd pleaser there. A lot of bands we bring back over and over again. Hub's Groove, we bring back just everybody that would play summer after summer after summer. So most of my local shows were University Circle.
Hey, I'm going to say this. When they had us at Wade Oval, it was one of the hottest days of the
Yeah, up on that stage.
Yep, and we didn't have our tent. So we had to go with the flow. Our stuff was overheating.
Were you cheering?
Yeah, I was DJing.
I probably saw you there.
Ah, yeah.
Wow.
And our stuff was overheating, so we're like, okay, I'm going to take the mic, go out to the crowd,
Yeah.
and I'm going to just interact with them
Yeah.
because definitely our stuff was overheating.
Yeah. They kept always telling us, why don't you get a pavilion? We just never got around to it. But the crowd still came out and we jammed together.
Mm-hmm. Who are you happy you've seen and you've gotten a chance to see?
Boy, there isn't really anybody I haven't wanted to see, but I would say sometimes it's been fun when there's like pop-up concerts in town. The ones you don't really expect are going to be here.
Your business and like, oh,
Exactly.
This person's here for this.
Exactly. There used to be something called Party in the Park. I think we should bring those back where we have more concerts out on parks, you know?
People will just randomly come in and throw their own concert.
And play, yeah. I'd like to have a music commission in Cleveland. Maybe you could help me with that.
Gosh, I would.
Because, you know,
be there.
well, like I think I might have to enlist you. So, like, New Orleans has their Jazz and Heritage Festival. Austin has South by Southwest. Chicago has the Blues Festival. Milwaukee's got the Lakefront Festival, Summerfest. I think we should have a Great Lakes Fest in Cleveland.
Great Lakes Fest.
Can we work on that together?
We will work on that.
Maybe with Dad.
We're gonna have a couple lunches. No, it's gonna be my mom.
Mom, you just got recruited.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a couple lunches and talk about it.
I like that. Lily's mom and dad and sister are out in the studio here on the 8th floor of county headquarters in Chris Ronayne's studio. You've turned this into a studio, Lily.
Nah. So who do you wish you could have seen?
Oh, you know, that is a good question. I think some of the greats that played here back in the day, when I'm looking out the window, I'm looking at a lot of the old jazz clubs that used to be here on Cedar and Carnegie. We had a lot of music mojo here in Cleveland. I think it's part of why they call us the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I guess I'm not thinking of any one particular performer, but
the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
yeah, I bet you've been down there a lot.
I have not, but I have.
Yeah.
I have been there a lot.
Yeah.
Been down there a lot, especially for the Forbes event.
Yeah.
Because I loved when I got to see MGK perform.
Yeah.
He's fun.
Yeah.
But I love how I got to try out so many
Yeah.
different instruments
Yeah.
there. Because, you know, they let you, like, try the guitar
Yeah.
and the drums.
Yeah, I love it. Well, you know, the people that pass early are the ones you're like, gosh, I wish I would have seen them.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, Prince, you know, people you didn't expect to pass so early. Thought, well, I'll get to it and get to them someday. But, you know, you see who you can. I try to see a lot of music concerts, though.
Me too.
Because music inspires, right? And it brings us together.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what my book is about. I wrote a book called From the Booth, and that is exactly what my
That's
book
the
is
theme? We need more music together.
about. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, definitely.
Wow.
What's
About
some
the same
advice for chasing your dreams for kids that might want to be in this position that you're in?
Well, I heard it said in the NCAA women's basketball the other day. I think somebody asked Caitlin Clark that, and she said, don't let anybody ever tell you you can't do something. You know, if it's your dream, dream big. And I agree with that.
Yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
That's the
No way,
question
you
I
asked the question?
That's the question.
No
that
way.
I asked.
So you know firsthand the answer.
Yes.
Good
That's
question.
the exact question that I. So you were
did?
watching it?
Yeah, of
That's
course.
the question I asked.
Give me a high five. The world just got smaller.
That
a
was
lot
me.
smaller.
That was my question.
It was a great question and a great answer,
you.
don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, just don't let anything stand in your way. Keep, hold that dream high, right? I mean, really, what you want to do, you can do. I don't know. That's what I think. Just don't let anything get in the way, and don't let anybody tell you you can't.
Well, thank you for coming on my show today.
That was a great way to end it. Because think big and dream big.